This was going to be a very easy episode. Supposedly I was going to speak about all the small things left with my swap, like things like covering the hole in my bonnet or stuff like installing this beautiful washer fluid bottle by our friends at Day Fab. Beautiful fab work. However, things got derailed, and if you are like Gab and you just want to see me suffer, I recommend you stay to the very end of this video.
Nürburgring scene, for that matter, is taking itself so seriously,
And we don't like that. You can take whatever the fuck you have,
Take it and
go
drive.
out and drive it. First, the one part that sucks ordering car parts in Greece.
One eternity later.
Inside this package we have a very important part of the project, but we have to now go to Bill. So this episode is about all the small things that you need to have a fast car. And you might think that we did all the changes. We put new tires and we put new suspension, but it's not about just bolting the parts. The car is back in Greece at PB Motorsport, and it is the off-season. And these new tires that you saw a few episodes back, completely destroyed in our first track day. And the brakes, something that we thought was actually sorted. I even made a video thinking that this could be the ultimate solution, the ultimate bolt-on solution for an MX-5. I was proven wrong. We actually managed to put everything on fire just doing the first time attack race at Megara Circuit. And now we are back here. We took everything off. I will actually show you in a little bit how the old discs looked. Pads completely destroyed, everything burned. And now we know at least that with this brake kit, the car can do 2 pad changes per one set of discs. This roughly means around 600 kilometers on track, and it's not bad, it's not good, but I think it could improve. And to do this, we added this parachute. No, actually we didn't do this. We did the bigger brakes in the rear, and we did everything again in the front, fresh discs, fresh different pads, fresh fluid. We believe that with the help of the rear brakes, this should probably balance the system out. We had to do a bigger master cylinder as well. The one used is the biggest stock Mazda item that you can have from a sporty, but you can go for a Willwood master cylinder. V8 Roadster actually recommends the Willwood 1-inch master cylinder. This is not that. This is the highest spec Mazda one. And with all these small changes, we had to look again to suspension, because although the car had, yes, a fresh, better suspension, suspension is not something that it is easy to find the first time. So what I thought was okay at the ring, we brought it here, and it didn't really work. So we had to take everything apart, change completely the ride heights, change completely the alignment. And after all this was done, we started looking at the aesthetics of the car. So there is no hole there in the bonnet anymore. That is fixed. There is a little bit of BMW now in the car, and there is one small finishing touch, one last thing that I will do, and we come to the box, this box. I have to tell you a story. Many years back, 13, 14 years, when I actually first bought this car, it had a broken mirror. So I said I will take the stock mirrors out. I stayed like 1 year without mirrors, and then I put some cheap eBay F1 style mirrors, and I said, okay, it's just temporary. I will put them there for 1, 2 years, and then at some point I will buy something proper. 3 or 4 years after, one of these mirrors failed, and I didn't have a passenger mirror for a very, very long time. And this year, I actually lost my driver's mirror. So unfortunately, I need at least one mirror in the car. So I decided after all these years to buy some mirrors. This is this. And what we need to do is basically take this car and go back to Megara Circuit and see if we have a working package. I have a lap time in my head that I think that the car can do. Let's jump on board. And at this point, I have to interrupt the episode and tell you why things didn't go according to plan. The first signs that this would be a bad day started very early when that morning that I intended to go to the track to test the car, I found my battery flat. Anyway, I managed to jump start it and arrived to the track very late, hoping that everything else will go according to plan. I did a very fast session. We saw the car matching the 1 minute 6 seconds lap time that it did a few weeks back, which was actually a very cool thing. Everything looked good, except one little thing. As you probably have noticed, there was this slight clutch slipping problem in a couple of the fast upshifts. It started at the ring, normally in higher gears, and it got worse and worse. And in the last video that you saw of the time attack race, it was actually even worse. And that morning, I actually felt it quite bad, but I didn't really give it any thought because we wanted to do too many things. So the point was that we had the base time for the car. And that base time is in the low 1 minute 6 second range. And I honestly believe that the car could dip in the 1 minute 5 range, which for a car on normal semi-slicks, a daily driven car, a car that could be driven to the other side of Europe if I wanted, I think that is rather impressive. And at this point, Bill wanted us to try some full slicks. And I was all down to try because more or less my bigger problem was that I wanted more tire. And I was very curious to see if my front end grip problems would go away with the bigger slicks. So we installed a set of 17-inch Pirellis. And we went out. I knew that normally MX-5s don't really like these big wheels, but it was a perfect time to try. And the moment I was getting really comfortable with the car, unfortunately, this happened. As you can guess, this is not something that came out of the blue. We sort of knew that it was getting worse and worse, but I never really thought that it would go that bad. I could barely cripple the car home. However, I want to show you the best lap of the day. It is not as impressive because I never managed to take full advantage of the slick tires. I would expect that there is another 1 second, 1.5 seconds there easily. However, it is the fastest this car has ever been around this track. It is the fastest any MX-5 has ever been around that track. So it is kinda cool. that note, it's time to finish this episode. The car has to go back to the workshop, engine and transmission will come down. This was a brand new clutch that we replaced only 6 months back, so this is not a normal failure. We don't really know what was the problem, we're gonna try to locate it, and we're gonna update you. Stay tuned, subscribe, and up until the next episode, be a one lap hero.